Hello YouTube, my name is Mark. This is Nixon Motorsports Garage. This channel is all about motorsports, from auto racing to exotic cars and even simulators. Today's video is going to be about Eagles Canyon Raceway, a track analysis of myself driving a Formula 1000 car through this circuit. This is a 2.7 mile circuit, 15 turns, 200 foot of elevation. I really like this track actually. I consider this a driver's track. It's fairly technical, high downforce, a fantastic track. I will pick out a few details to focus on as I drive through this track in my Formula 1000. If you have any questions, of course, please comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Once we complete this slow lap, I will then do a full lap at speed so you can compare the difference. Let's get to it. So this is the start-finish line of the track, approaching turn 1. And turn 1, braking, make sure you look for your markers entering turn 1. I brake just before cone 1, as you see here to the left. Of course, this will vary depending on your speed. As you see, we are braking going down a hill. The track is also narrowing from the wider 48 foot to 40 feet at or just after turn 1, so keep that in mind. I'm also playing with as far as I go to the left on turn in. You will see I'm a few feet from the left on this lap. Let's go forward a little more. So I go down to 4th gear, just around 2 Gs in and around turn 1. Entry speed for me is about 120 miles an hour, letting the car rotate before I get back on power. If you are pushed outside for some reason, or you start on the left side of the track at the start of a race and are forced to be on the far left, just be careful. I find the far left side of this track to have lots of marbles, low grip for me. So let's move forward. So turn 2, use maximum curb, early throttle. Depending on the field, may require a little throttle control to complete the exit. Let the car unwind, track all the way out on turn 2, heading up the hill to a blind turn 3. So that's turn 2, you're tracking to the right, and as you see towards the top of the hill, the track just falls away. That's a blind entry into 3. Now turn 3 is actually 3A, 3B, so you need to keep this in mind. Now approaching this turn, it's it's very important that you look for your markers because the track just falls away from you. And right at the crest of the hill, you see cone 2, and the hill does flatten out before it starts to fall down a little bit. And I enter roughly at about 106 miles an hour just before cone 1. Is when I brake all the way to the right. I go down 1 into 3rd gear. A little trail braking as you turn in here is a useful technique to try. Let the car rotate into turn B, and a constant radius through this double apex. Turn A, 3A, and 3B I find to work quite well and has a very good rhythm to it. So approaching 3B here, you want to use a little throttle control. By mid 3AB, you should be on the throttle, and then maximum attack here on 3B. On its exit, let it track out. Get then all the way back to your right Now you're approaching turn 4, and you can see turn 4 falls away from you as well, so the track does drop. It is another blind entry. I position my car all the way to the left, and I do go up 1 gear. Now from a marker perspective, if you look to the top right, you'll see a small amount of white on the right side of the track before it goes away. That's a little bit of curbing on the right. I use that for my visual turn-in, and I approach this in turn 4, I approach this at about 100 miles an hour in turn 4. Okay, so here you can see we press the turn, and at this point get too far away to the left, and this is approaching turn 5. Now turn 5 is actually an interesting corner. You actually are going down a hill, accelerating, you get to turn 5, and then it translates into a turn or a rise in elevation, and it actually helps in braking and turn in. So there are no braking markers here on 5. You're going to have to use memory for reference. I do go down 1 in gear, use a nice clean turn in, use all the right side of the track you can. Obviously, exit, let the car unwind clean. Now, this car does crest at the exit here, so keep that in mind. If the car is a little light on the rear, you'll feel that as it comes around turn 5. But let it unwind all the way to the left of the track. And then now you're approaching turn 6, which is a high-speed right-hander. Up the hill, as you see, max power. I go up 1 gear, and again, you're going up a hill as you enter this turn. You see there's no references, no markers for you at all, so this is all from memory. I'm about 113 miles an hour in mid-corner here, at about 2.5 Gs in turn 6. Once I get through turn 6, the car is going to drift to the left naturally. Though you see turn 7 approaching, I keep the car pointed towards turn 7, and I'm focused on carrying as much momentum through here as I can. Okay, so turn 7, I'll do a light touch on the brakes, or you might have to do just a small lift, but be careful because you are entering a turn at speed. And at 7, you want to get through 7 as much speed as you can carry through that. You want the car to actually point up towards the hill, pointing towards turn 8. Once you get it straight, your goal then is to brake, obviously, and get the car positioned all the way to the right of the track. Okay, so that's approaching. That's from 7. Now here's turn 8. It's a simple corner for the most part. Use cone 1 for the braking point. Move again all the way to the right. Use the maximum inside curve to get through 8. Now we're approaching turn 7. This turn's actually a very important turn. I actually sacrificed this corner a bit for focus on turn 10. 10 is a last corner before the long half a mile straightaway. So I get through 9 here. I hug the car and I do my best to keep it all the way to the right of the track for the purpose that I said. I want to be on power as fast and as hard as I can through 10. So this is turn 10. It's a pretty long radius corner. You should be full throttle here, and through this corner I'm around 2 Gs, roughly 95 or 100 miles an hour through there. And as I said, through 10, let's just speed up here a little bit. Let me speed up a little bit here. This actually now gets you to the end of the long straight. So let me move forward. Okay, so now we're approaching turn 11, and this is at the end of the long straight, and you want to be looking for your braking markers, of course. Keep the car all the way to the right, keep it straight, hard on the brakes. So I'm braking here for turn 11 at about just the 2 cone. And again, keep the car all the way to the right as you approach turn 11. So I crest, I get through this corner 11 at about 2.4 Gs roughly. I use max curbing as you turn through this. Be careful at the top of this turn. The hill does crest, and so the rear of your car may get light. Now after you complete turn 11, you're approaching turn 12. You see the track does fall down. I approach this a little different. I do turn in early. I'm off throttle initially. I allow the front to bite as I'm going down a hill, but then I get back on throttle as quick as I can. And on turn in turn 12, I see 3.9 Gs myself. So let's get into turn 12, approaching turn 13. So here's turn 13. Again, look for your markers. Get the car all the way to the right side. I brake at about the 1 marker at about 103.5 miles an hour thereabouts. Again, brake straight and then trail brake into this turn and let the car rotate. You will be going down a hill. So let me speed forward. This is 13A. So that's 13A. Again, you see it going down the hill. Let the car rotate all the way to the right. And now focus on 13B. Once you get the car settled from 13A, you want to get back on throttle as quick as you can. You may have to manage throttle through this corner. Ultimately, have a constant radius from this point forward would be ideal. So that's 13A. Now we're approaching turn 14. I approach this corner, as you can see from the placement of the car, about mid-track. A light touch on brake, but keep as much speed as possible. Heading up the hill, you want to let the steering wheel unwind at the exit, of course. And again, as you see this carry forward at the top of this turn, heading up the hill, it will crest, so be careful. Your rear may get light. So if you can see that transition as you're going up the hill where it does crest and then it does flatten out for this small straight to the last corner, turn 15A and B. So 15AB, this is the last double apex of the track for a single lap. You can brake deep here. You want to make sure you're all the way to the right. I use just about before cone 1. Ideally a constant turn in here on this corner. So let's speed forward a bit. Now keep in mind here's 15B. You should be focused on this corner, especially 15B, to be on power as fast as you can from the 15AB. Following this, again, you have another long straight before you approach the start-finish, and you want to let the car unwind here as quick as possible and carry as much speed as you can. So let me go forward. Okay, great. So that's one track as I tried to give you some tips and so on. Let's go ahead and back up and watch the track at full speed. Okay, so that is a full speed lap at Eagles Canyon Raceway. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. Tell your friends about it. And that's it for today. You have a great day. Bye. Thanks.